What's up, everyone? This is Jalen Phillips of the Miami Dolphins, and you're watching South Beach Sports. Make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications to never miss a video. Click the links down below to stay connected on our other platforms.
What's going on, everybody? This is Luke from South Beach Sports, and today we're going to preview what the Miami Heat's playoff rotation could look like. We first have to take into account that Erik Spoelstra is often very fluid with his playoff rotations. There's really not a set-in-stone rotation that he always goes to. In Game 3 last year versus the Lakers, he went 10 deep, while in Game 5 he went 7 deep. This really depends on what type of matchups the Heat are facing against and what type of situational game the Heat are playing in, as the Game 5 last year was an elimination game. With that being said, we can still get a pretty good idea of what this normal playoff rotation will look like, and we have to look at some of these close games over the last month of the season. The Heat have really been trying to get this playoff rotation in check and have these players play with each other, so come playoff time it's normal. So for this example, I will use the Miami Heat's recent 129-121 victory over the Celtics, in which no rotational player was out. So for this playoff-esque game, the Heat used the rotation of Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Trevor Ariza, and Bam Adebayo as the starters, and then Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero, Andre Iguodala, and Dwayne Dedmon as the bench players. So for the starters, I doubt the Heat change anything. They've been using these same 5 starters ever since Victor Oladipo got hurt, so I doubt they want to mess with anything. As for the 4 bench players, I really like what the Heat would be bringing off their bench. Goran Dragic would provide a veteran presence and a good playmaker and scorer. As for Tyler Hero, he can get hot very easily, so he'd be a very good scorer and off the bench. Then we have Andre Iguodala for defense and toughness and veteran leadership, to go along with Dwayne Dedmon as that stable backup center who will always provide consistent minutes. As for the minutes off the bench, I think we could see Tyler Hero and Goran Dragic receive anywhere from 22 to 30 minutes, while players like Dwayne Dedmon and Andre Iguodala could receive anywhere from 12 to 20 minutes. Now, while I think these 9 players will end up being the primary rotational guys come playoff time, we could definitely see some other players such as Nemanja Bjelica and Gabe Vincent receive spot minutes. As for Bjelica, he's not been playing that many games as of late, but he did receive the start last Saturday against the Bucks in Jimmy Butler's absence, and he played pretty decent. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists to go along with another 2 steals. He also started last Sunday's game against the Pistons and recorded 21 points to go along with 4 rebounds and 4 assists and another 2 steals. So he's a very smart big who can stretch the floor. You can put him next to Bam Adebayo at times. I think we have to look at him possibly receiving some minutes come playoff time, especially if the Heat needs some shooting. As for Gabe Vincent, I think the Heat could definitely give him some spot minutes if Tyler Hero or Goran Dragic are struggling. The main weakness of both Dragic and Hero's games right now are their defense, and Vincent, I think, gives a lot when it comes to defense, especially on the perimeter. He's a very tough and aggressive defender, and I think the Heat really like his potential as a possible backup point guard in the future, so we could definitely see Vincent receiving some minutes here or there. Now, I don't think Bjelica or Vincent will be consistent cogs of that playoff rotation, but if Erik Spoelstra decides to go 10 or 11 men deep, then they definitely could receive some minutes. We also have to look towards KZ Akpala possibly receiving minutes, especially in that Bucks series, to combat Giannis Antetokounmpo's length. Akpala is a very lengthy player, and if the Heat need a situational defender to guard Antetokounmpo for a minute or two, we could definitely see KZ receive some minutes. The last thing I want to discuss today is what the Heat's closing lineup could look like in the fourth quarters. I want to preview which 5 players I think Erik Spoelstra trusts the most. So the definite locks are obviously Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. I think Trevor Reaves is also locked to be in this final fourth quarter lineup. For the other spots, I think Duncan Robinson has a very good chance of being in this closing lineup most of the time. His defense has been good enough to where you can trust him to not be a complete liability, and obviously you want Duncan Robinson out there to provide amazing shooting. As for the 5th and final spot of this rotation, it comes between the 3 guards left. So we have Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero, and Kendrick Nunn. You can make a case for all 3 players to possibly play in this 5th and final spot of this rotation. So with Tyler Hero, he has proven in his young NBA career that he's made some big time shots, and he can get hot very, very quickly. So the Heat might want to have that shot creating and shooting ability in that final rotation. You also have to look towards Goran Dragic, as he will provide a veteran leadership and veteran presence in that final rotation, and also Kendrick Nunn, who's been playing very, very well as of late. I predict on most nights the Heat will use Tyler Hero in this final rotation, but again, it would not surprise me if Spoelstra uses any of the 3 players that I named. So that's going to be it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video and if you enjoyed content like this, please go ahead and like and subscribe. We recently hit 100 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. Go comment down below what you think the Heat's playoff chances are, as well as what you think the Heat's playoff rotation could look like. We have so many videos planned for you guys over the next couple months regarding the NBA playoffs, so I'm very excited to get that out for you guys. With that being said, I'll catch you later. Peace.